What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, it does not matter what you drive because this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and today we are talking pickup trucks. But first, if you have not yet, smash the like button. It just helps other people find the channel, and I greatly appreciate that. So today we are going to talk about this. You've seen it in the title. You know what's going on. The Nissan Frontier, but this is not just any Nissan Frontier. It's the 22 model, and it's the brand new Frontier, and it's the Frontier we've been waiting for like, I don't know, 15 years it seems like, but I'm super pumped about this, and I've done this on the channel before where I've talked about this, and I've gotten some spy photos and just, you know, some sneaky stuff that sometimes Nissan likes to show, and then, well, sometimes they don't. But anyways, I actually got to see this thing in person today. I was driving down the road here in Middle Tennessee. I actually got to see 3 of these things today. I got to see the blue, the green, and that cool battleship gray, and I've got some opinions about them things, and I've got a couple photos, not the greatest photos, but it's hard to be in traffic and snapping cool photos for you guys at the same time. But I had some thoughts about this after seeing this thing in person, and guys, I'm pretty impressed with this thing, and I've been back and forth with it. And if you know us from the Nissan Nation production side or the Nissan Nation podcast side, where I covered Nissan exclusively for about 5-6 years, you know, I was super pumped about this truck. I've been waiting for this truck for a long time, and then when I heard that it was going to be built on the same platform and this and that, like everybody at first, I was like, oh man, come on, typical Nissan, what are we doing here, guys? But the framing works great. There's no reason to change that. A lot of manufacturers don't change the framing, but at first I was like, well, this just it kind of looks like a mini Titan, and I'd fought a bunch of people about it and said, hey, to me it doesn't, but the interior of this thing definitely looks like a mini Titan. And there's always questions about if the Titan's not selling well, why would you make the little truck kind of look more like that? But after seeing these things in person, the outside of it with these cool colors, I'm super pumped about it, and you should be too, because there's 310 horsepower that we know of in this thing. And did Nissan bump it up a little bit more, or did they leave the horsepower the same? Because the last 2 years they've used the 3.8 engine in this thing, and direct injected, no turbos, 310 horsepower. Now you could probably get a lot more out of it, and if you're like our friends at Z1, you know they're going to crack the code on this thing, and they're going to hit 400 horsepower on one of these trucks like tomorrow when they get one. But after seeing this thing in person, I was pretty taken back that the fact that they haven't gotten any larger, and that's a plus to me in this day and age where it seems like every mid-sized truck keeps getting larger and larger. Hell, you look at the Ford Ranger now, which I think is a cool looking truck, except if I were to get out of the back of it, I'm 5'8". If I wanted to get something out of the tailgate's up to my head like to here. It's like I need 4 ladders and, you know, a hope and prayer that I can get in the back of this thing. But with this, it's going to be just a hair taller than what we've seen in the past, but not much, and I'm super pumped about that. And I cannot wait to get in one of these things and kind of give my thoughts and opinions on it, because once again, guys, I've been the champion of this vehicle for a long time. And Ford Bronco guys, you may like, man, you love the Bronco, which I do, but the Frontier has always been one of my loves of just small pickup trucks, whether it come back from the hard body days with, you know, it was just a simple truck, to the early Frontier days. I just love this truck, and you should too. So let's go look at these pictures, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's look at these exclusive photos that I took today, and let's talk how I got these things. Well, as you can see, they're just floating down the road, man. And this morning, about 6:30, I seen them floating through town, and I was like, is that what I saw? And there was all 3 the same, and I imagine they're doing a loop. They're probably doing about a 100-mile loop. I've seen this before when they're testing Altima and stuff. They do these long loops down the interstate, and it looks like they were getting back on the interstate here. Actually, I know they were getting back on the interstate because I watched them get on the exit there. But so this blue looks freaking amazing in person. Now it's the same blue that we've seen on the Titan, so there's no oh man, what's it going to look like? If you've seen that dark blue in the Titan, you've seen it on this. But in this SV trim, it looks really, really nice. And what I really like is the where it says it's badged Frontier on the front above the kind of burger, the Nissan logo there, which is kind of hard to make out in this photo. And trust me, I probably about ran people over trying to take these photos. But I like that trim piece is body matching. Like on the Pro4x, they've been black, and it looks pretty aggressive. But I like how this is more of a subdued, maybe more of a refined look to this thing. And as you can see, it looks like I don't remember if it was chrome or if it was kind of a platinum finish the center grille, but I like how it makes that center grille look a little bit smaller. It doesn't look so in your face as maybe the Pro4x does, which I like. I just like that we're kind of getting different looks to this truck, which a lot of these, that's something Nissan's kind of doing with these. A lot of like your Toyotas and your Rangers and stuff, you get sort of a grille, and they don't really kind of change it up too much. So, for Nissan, this is probably a big deal for them. And I actually do like the truck. I do not like that burger placement for whatever reason. It just, I know what they were doing. They're trying to balance that burger within the lights themselves so everything looks flush, but they could have reworked that for me. But that's just me being nitpicky about this thing. Something that kind of stands out is the headlights on this thing. Now, these are not the LED that we've seen on the Pro4x. These are the halogens, or what look to be halogens. And while they don't look bad, they just lose something because the LEDs have the kind of the grid form in them, and it makes them look a little more aggressive. And I'm sure these are bright enough. Good Lord, we don't I'm getting amazed how bright headlights are getting. But overall, it doesn't look too bad. But let's look at the rear of this thing now, because this is SV. As you can see, the manufacturer plates, obviously this photo is a little more crisp than the last one I did, but the Frontier's stamped really, really big, and I like the stamping, how everybody does the stamping in these things, but I just feel like they've stretched that Frontier. It just too in your face, especially if you look at where it says SV above it, 4-wheel drive. It just kind of overpowers everything, but yet it's sort of subdued in the, where it's kind of body matching, but is what it is. I like the bumper of this thing, and I've talked about this truck before. Look at the big, you're getting a big rear opening for the window there. Now, my understanding is it's not going to be power assisted. They want to keep this truck somewhat affordable, so it's not the big Titan. It's kind of a bummer. You would think in the Pro4x or one of the higher trims you might get some power assisting, but what I'm hearing is it's a no-go. They're all the same color, but these trucks are looking pretty good. And once again, the Nissan burger there, I just feel like Nissan could have stamped that into the body. It doesn't seem to match the rest of it. So you got a platinum SV 4-wheel drive. You've got that sort of platinum Nissan burger look, but yet it's got the white trim around it to kind of make it glow out a little bit. And then you got this subdued Frontier. It just looks like people were throwing darts sort of okay, hit on platinum. We got to use platinum somewhere. And this is me being nitpicky because I've been close to this brand. As I said in the opening, I've tracked this vehicle for a long time, and there's a great expectations in my eyes for this truck. And so I'm really pumped to get a hold of one of these things because I really do want to test these things out. I've been a fan of these trucks for a long time. I've put the last generation through its paces. I've beat up a first generation Frontier, and I've owned a hard body in the past. So and I had a lot of fun in those trucks. But as you can see, it's kind of cool to see these things running around town. You can see the big shark fin for the antenna up on the roof there. And well, guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think? These things are like that close from you're seeing them on dealer showrooms. They're going to, in a few weeks, they're going out to dealers so dealers can get educated on them. And then the order banks will be opening up on them. And then Frontiers, before you know it, late summer, Frontiers, I think, are going to be in people's driveways. So let me know in the comments. All right, so where do you stand on this pickup truck? I know Nissan doesn't always have the best reputation for whatever reason. I think the CVT that they put in some of their cars just bleeds into the trucks, makes people think that the trucks aren't as good as they are. And I tell you, I've beat the piss out of these things. I've wheeled them hard. I've been all over the country in these things, and I've had a blast in them. And I've always said that the next Frontier, the Generation 3, that I would have one of these things. And if you guys keep liking the content, maybe we can have one of these side by side with a Gladiator or that new Bronco that's coming out. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or these Frontiers that I really want to try and drive, this has been your All Terrain Nation. Leave in the comments. Let me know. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.